friend, welcome back to my channel. I hope you had a great week. Today is a monumental day because I have officially entered the third trimester. Can you believe that? Yo, I'm 28 weeks pregnant right now. Wait, can you see my belly? I feel like this whole pregnancy has just flown by, and so today I thought I would do a little second trimester recap and talk about the symptoms I've been experiencing, good and bad, some of the changes I've been seeing, everything I've been learning, some big monumental moments for baby. And make sure you watch to the end of this video because I'm also going to be sharing a story of one of the biggest mistakes I made in this trimester that actually landed me in the emergency room. If you're new here, my name is Nicole. I am a food, travel, and lifestyle creator. It would mean so much to me if you gave this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button because I post videos on here every week, every Saturday morning, and I don't want you to miss them. Okay, let's just jump right in. The second trimester, the biggest thing I noticed is that I had so much more energy. One of the biggest things they talk about is the second trimester is kind of like the honeymoon phase, and now that I've gone through it, I completely agree. I was so tired the first trimester, I feel like I couldn't do anything, even though my other symptoms were pretty mild. Second trimester, I kind of felt back to my normal self. I really didn't even start noticing a bump until like week 19 or 20, and so I felt fully back to normal. I've been able to work out more, which has been really nice and has also helped with my energy levels. And really with that, I've just been trying to keep it pretty similar to my normal routine. I normally lift like 2 to 3 days a week, and then the other days of the week are cardio. And so I've tried to keep up with that schedule as best that I can without overdoing it, and it seemed to work pretty well for me. We also did a lot more traveling in the second trimester because I was feeling a lot more up to it and had a ton more energy. We did a road trip to Virginia, we went to New York, which I gotta say, as fun as that was, we did so much walking, I kind of felt like I was gonna die. My body was really hurting on that trip. And then a couple weeks ago, we went to Utah, which was also super fun. But I can totally see what they mean about how traveling when you're pregnant gets super hard, because even simple things that you don't think about, like being on an airplane and your body swelling, or being out in the heat, like being pregnant in the summertime is no joke. I didn't think I would have an issue, but y'all, when it gets hot outside and I am out there in the heat, especially if I'm standing for long periods of time, my whole body just swells. Like when I was in Utah, a bunch of you commented on my photos and said, man, your belly really popped. But it's funny because I looked like I had a huge belly when we were in Moab, and then we got home and it was like I kind of shrunk and I wasn't as big. And honestly, I think the heat caused me to swell. I'm definitely not as hungry as I was in the first trimester. The first trimester, I felt like I could eat anything at any time and I was always in a snacking mood. I kind of feel like that leveled out in second trimester as well. Like I kind of went back to my normal routine of eating. Probably the most obvious difference I've noticed is that my body is growing. I definitely have a bump now, as you can tell, and now that she's fully developed, she is growing at such a rapid rate. I think now that I'm in the third trimester, like I only have 10-ish weeks left before I deliver. Gosh, that's so crazy. And she's about 2 pounds now. So she's gonna go from like 2 to potentially 6 to 8 pounds over the next couple of weeks. And all that's supposed to fit right in here, which is just so crazy to me. So watching my body grow has been the most surreal thing ever. I still cannot wrap my head around it. And literally none of my clothes fit. I think I have like 4 or 5 outfits upstairs that actually fit me. And so this trimester I had to invest in some maternity clothes, which was kind of fun. And I've been trying to find practical things that are like looser or baggier so that I can wear them when I'm pregnant and still feel comfortable, but also potentially be able to wear them in regular life because I hate spending money and I just don't want to buy a bunch of clothes that I can only wear for one season of life. So I really haven't gotten a ton of new clothes. However, I will say maternity leggings and maternity biker shorts are from heaven above. That little extra belly thing that they put in there, man, that is so nice because all the other biker shorts and exercise shorts that I have like cut me off right at my bump, and I'm getting to the point now where anything that pushes like that or like puts pressure on that area of my stomach, it's just really not comfortable. So those have been great, and it's been super hot outside, so dresses have kind of been my go-to. Speaking of new clothes, I have to show you guys some of the clothes that we got for her. Second trimester was so exciting because we started to do a little bit of shopping for our little girl, and I gotta say, shopping for little girls is so fun because they have so many cute things. We're still kind of in the process of getting everything we need, and it's kind of overwhelming. I might do a video after we have her, and I've had a couple weeks or even months to really see what products have been most helpful and useful to share with any of you that are also pregnant and maybe struggling to come up with your baby registry, because that was really hard for me. So let me know if you'd be interested in that. But you guys, I've got to show you some of these things. I found this company from MiniOlie on Instagram, and they have the most adorable little baby clothes. They have a whole collection of fruit clothing. And you guys, is this not the cutest thing you've ever seen? This is a little strawberry romper. We're gonna have a tiny little smoothie baby in our midst. This little lemon sweatsuit, there's little pants under here, you can't see them. So tiny and so cute. One of my favorite things about baby clothes is how tiny they are. Like, I didn't know that something so tiny could exist. Okay, brace yourselves for this next one. This little watermelon romper, I got this in size 6 months, a little bit bigger, because this is definitely a summer outfit, and by the time she'll be able to wear this, she'll have grown quite a bit, but it has this little hat. I mean, come on. I'm so excited to dress her up like a little watermelon. Another tiny, cute strawberry romper. They seriously, y'all, if you are pregnant or have a friend who is pregnant, check out their site because they have the cutest little things. This one has blueberries on it. Another little blueberry sweat set. This is like a little sweatshirt, and then it has little jogger pants that go with it. Okay, this one might be my favorite. You're not ready for this. Look at these tiny little fuzzy cherry overalls. I cannot wait to put her in these this winter. She's gonna be so warm. I'm obsessed. Okay, and then last one from them I have to show you is this little hoodie set. It's got a little smiley face on it. Tiny little hoodie, and then it has matching little sweatpants with smiley faces on them, y'all. I can already tell you that this little girl is gonna wipe us clean of everything we have. MiniOlie is awesome. I will put a link down to their website in the description box below. They were so sweet to give me a code for you to get 20% off if you want to shop for your little one as well, and so that'll be down there. And then little girl also got her first stuffed animal. This one is from Cuddle & Kind. It's so cute. I can't wait to put this next to her and take photos every single month as she grows next to it. It's actually pretty big, and so she'll probably be a lot smaller when we first get her, but it'll be so cute to see how she grows along the way. I love these because for every doll purchased, they give 10 meals to children in need, and then they have little tiny ones like this, and I think the tiny ones are 5 meals. So she's got 2 little cute bears. We also got her bassinet, which I'm really jazzed about. We got it from Newton Baby. Putting together our baby's bassinet. How long do they sleep in the bassinet for? A couple months? A couple weeks? I honestly don't know. Well, when did they move to the crib?
They sleep beside you for like 6 months.
Oh, really? We don't know if we're doing this right. Okay, we have a standing bassinet. So let's see what it's like with that in it. That'll give it its shape. Nice. Wow. Does it rock?
Rock.
Oh, it's not supposed to rock? It's just supposed to shows how much I know about bassinets. The mattress is made of 90% air. It's super easy to assemble. It even comes in a bag if you need to transport or travel with it. And another thing I really like is that it has adjustable height and a little compartment that you can unclip and drop down, so when it's up against your bed, you have direct access to your baby. I'll also link that down in the description box below. I think I have a code for that as well. So those are just a few of the things we've gotten for her so far. We still have a long way to go. I mean, we have to completely convert my office into the nursery. And so there'll be a big video on that coming later. One of the other not so great symptoms that started second trimester is body pains. If you've ever heard of round ligament pain, I definitely experienced that. And I don't know if it's because I'm hypermobile and all my joints are kind of loose to begin with, but I've been experiencing a lot of pain in like my lower back, my hips, and overall pelvis region, which I think is pretty common, but it's made things like literally walking super painful. So that hasn't been super fun, but I have noticed that stretching sometimes helps. It still just kind of lingers all the time, and so I don't really know that there's anything I can do about that to make that go away. But now that I'm entering the 3rd trimester, I'm gonna try to prioritize a lot more pelvic floor therapy and exercises that are gonna strengthen the right areas that are specifically gonna help with labor and delivery. That has made just doing normal things, like again, walking or even like bending down or doing the laundry or making the bed, a lot harder than normal. And so I feel like I've kind of had to slow down over these last couple of months and recognize that as my body continues to grow and shift and change, that I'm gonna have to maybe do less, which is really hard for me, but it's good. All good things. Probably the most exciting thing that happened in the 2nd trimester was that I started to be able to feel her move. In the beginning, it's so crazy because it kind of feels like popcorn popping in your belly or like an involuntary muscle spasm. And it took me a while to actually detect what that was and like understand what that felt like. But now that she's so much bigger, I mean, I feel her move every single day, and it's the most wild thing. I tell people that it kind of feels exactly like what you think it would. Like there is a human inside of your stomach and they're moving around. I feel like she's most active in the evenings, like when we sit down after dinner to watch a show or a movie, like she'll start rolling around. And it's so crazy too because she responds to light. Like she can fully hear, and I think she can see now. But sometimes we get a flashlight and we'll like shine it on different parts of my belly and move it around, and and she'll hit those different spots. And so it's been so fun being able to play and interact with her in that way. And knowing too that like she can hear our voices, and so being able to talk to her or sing to her, or every night we've been trying to read her a different children's book, and sometimes she'll move around during that, and so that's been super sweet. And then of course, as you know, one of the biggest things that happened in the second trimester is that we had our gender reveal party, and we found out that we're having a baby girl. You likely already saw the vlog for that. If not, it's a couple videos back on my channel. But we are so excited. I have to say I was surprised. I definitely thought we were having a boy because I never got sick in the beginning, and typically that's one of the biggest symptoms that indicates that you're having a girl. And so when it blasted pink, it took me a second to register that we were actually having a girl. Also, I just have to say, when Chandler and I decided that we wanted to do fireworks for the reveal, we did not know that it was going to be that big. We found this company on TikTok who had done another gender reveal that I really liked, and it was like a couple powder cannons and like a few little fireworks, and that's exactly what I wanted. And so I sent them the video and I was like, could you do something like this for us? And they actually gifted us the fireworks. It was one of the biggest blessings. We were so thankful that they were willing to come out and do that. But they said, yes, but we want to try something a little different and do something bigger if that's okay. And I didn't even think to ask for specifics. I didn't know what he meant by that. I definitely didn't expect it to be that big, but when it went up, we both were like, oh my gosh, it was just so much bigger than anything we thought. Like, that was not in our plans. It was so epic. One thing I do want to put out there is that we were so far away from any trees. Some of the videos that we posted, the angles don't really show that well, but we were a legal, safe distance away from any trees. We were not in a forest. All of their products are biodegradable, and we cleaned everything up when it was all over. And so I'm grateful that the company came out. It was handled by professionals who were licensed to do that. They had everything under control. No one was harmed in the making of our gender reveal. But yeah, it was definitely way bigger and more epic than we thought. And we're just so grateful that we were able to celebrate in such a big way for all of our family and friends, because I think it's a memory that none of us are ever gonna forget. I will say, next time for our next kid though, we are not gonna wait that long to find out the gender. We could have found out at like what, week 12 or 13, I think is when you can find out. Maybe it's 14, but we waited. I got the results at week 17, and because we were doing a gender reveal party, we wanted to wait until all of our family could come into town, and Chandler wanted to find out in front of everybody instead of like an intimate thing with just me and him. And so the earliest we could get everybody in town was week 24. So we didn't find out that we were having a girl until the 24th week. And I gotta say, it took so much self-control and restraint to not just rip that envelope open and look so much sooner, because I was dying to know. Another maybe not so great symptom that started in the second trimester is sleeping is getting a lot harder. I don't really know how to explain it. It's just harder to sleep. Your nose gets stuffy because you have increased blood volume and blood flow, and so it like clogs your passageways, which sounds really gross, but especially with your belly growing and your body growing, sleeping sometimes can just be uncomfortable. So I got a pregnancy pillow, and it looks so crazy in the bed. It looks super big. It's not as big as it looks, and it's awesome. I sleep so much better now that I have this pillow. I'll also link it down in the description box below. That has been a lifesaver for me, because I know sleeping is only gonna get harder as we go along, and then especially once baby gets here, I'm probably not gonna get a whole lot of sleep there in the beginning, so I'm trying to stock up on it now. At 20 weeks, we had our anatomy scan, which is kind of a big appointment, because at this ultrasound, they're checking all the body parts. Do they have 5 fingers, 5 toes? Are the legs there? Are the arms there? Is the heart normal? Is the head looking right? They kind of check every little thing, the kidneys, all the organs, because the baby's fully developed at that point and you're halfway through your pregnancy. And so we were super excited for this appointment, and I gotta say, I left really disappointed. Everyone kind of hyped up the anatomy scan like you're gonna be able to see all these features and things of baby, and like honestly, I don't know if it was her position or the fact that she was so much bigger from the last time we saw her, but I felt like half the time we were looking at the images and I couldn't tell what we were looking at. I don't really feel like we got a good view or like got to see anything cool, and to be honest, the ultrasound tech that we had was not very nice to us. I brought my vlog camera because I wanted to get a couple seconds of footage that I could show you guys, and also just have that memory for myself to be able to look back on. And she literally told us no. She was like, you can't film in here. She kind of made it super awkward, and we were like, wait, what? Why? Because it's our baby. And so that kind of made me upset and put me in a bad mood. And she made it seem like we'd be able to get a few pictures and videos at the end when she was done with the test. But then once it was over, she just like kicked us out of the room. We literally didn't get anything. And the pictures that she like screenshot and sent to us really weren't even that good. Like we have maybe 2 from that one where you can even tell what you're looking at. But the place that we go to as well, they don't print the images. And so all we have are these digital photos. And I don't know. I was just kind of bummed about the whole thing because I love documenting and having those little little memories. And I really wanted to show you, so I don't have much to show from that appointment, but the great news is all the body parts are there. Everything is functioning as normal. The only thing they saw that was of concern is I have what's called a marginal cord insertion. And so if you don't know what that is, basically the baby's umbilical cord is supposed to attach to the placenta in the center because that is where they're gonna get optimal blood flow and nutrients from your body. And instead of attaching in the center, ours attached onto the side, which doesn't give her the best access to those nutrients and things that she needs. And so it might not be a problem, it might not affect anything, but it could lessen growth in the womb, which means she doesn't get as much as what she needs to continue growing. And so one of the biggest changes I'm gonna experience in the third trimester is that I'm gonna have to go in for like double appointments. I have to go in twice a week, every week now, and have an ultrasound every time so that they can check her growth and monitor her to make sure that everything is still growing properly. And technically they moved me from low risk to medium risk. I don't really think that's gonna make a huge difference aside from the fact that I have to go in for more appointments now. So that's definitely something you could be praying about. We're just hoping that it doesn't impact her growth and that she gets everything she needs and comes out a happy, healthy baby. And one of the biggest things you all want to know is, have we picked a name? Second trimester was so fun. Once we finally found out that we were having a girl, Chandler and I started thinking about all the names, and it took us a while, but we've narrowed it down to 2. And we're really leaning one way more than the other. Like, we're 99% sure we know what her name is. I don't think we're going to announce it. We're definitely not going to tell our family. We've told a few of our close friends, but I think we're going to keep it a secret to the public until she's born. But stay tuned, we might change our mind. We're still trying to nail down the name. We don't have it exactly yet, but we do have one we really love. Another question I got is what I'm doing to prevent stretch marks. I'm not doing anything crazy. I just got that tub of the ultra moisturizing cream from Cetaphil. They have it in like 2-tub packs at Costco. It's really great. I've just been putting that on my belly and all over my body every day, and it seems to be working like a charm. Okay, now for the story time. The biggest mistake that I made in the second trimester was not staying hydrated. When we were on our trip to Virginia, I got a nasty UTI out of nowhere. I've never had one before, and this one was super severe, and I'm pretty sure it's because I wasn't being diligent about keeping up with my water and hydration, and it was so hot that day. I remember after dinner, I went to the bathroom and it hurt really bad. Sorry if this is TMI. And I didn't think anything of it, but I mentioned it to Chandler, and then we went on a walk, and when we got back from the walk, I felt like I had to go to the bathroom again. So I went again, and it hurt even worse. And I was like, this is super strange. And then after that point, it was like I had to go pee every 1.5 to 2 minutes. It was so frequent, and the pain kept increasing to a level where I could not go to the bathroom without crying. It hurt so bad. And I'd never had a UTI before, so I didn't really know what was going on. I figured that's what it was, but again, I'd never experienced that pain, and it was super concerning. And then a couple hours went by, and I started to have blood in my urine, and it was getting pretty late. It was like 9 p.m. And so Chandler called one of his OB friends and asked him if we should go to urgent care right then, or if we'd be okay to sleep through the night and go first thing in the morning. And she basically told us we needed to go right away because I have a really rare blood type, and so if there was any chance that the blood was coming from anywhere other than my bladder, that could be really dangerous for baby, especially where I was at the time in pregnancy. If my baby didn't have the same blood type as me, it could potentially result in miscarriage. And when she said that, I freaked out. And so it was so late that unfortunately all the urgent cares were closed, and we had no choice but to go to the emergency room. And y'all, I was in so much pain. I had to go to the bathroom like every minute. I was in tears, and it took us a while to get back there. And once we got back there, gosh, I felt like it just took so long. By the time they did all the tests and urine samples and gave me antibiotic and checked to make sure the baby was okay, we did get an ultrasound to make sure that everything was fine. I don't think we left there until about 2 a.m. So it was a rough night. It was really scary. Definitely don't want to do that again. And so this is your warning. If you're pregnant, or if you're ever pregnant one day, drink your water, stay hydrated. UTIs when you're pregnant, UTIs in general are just awful. So that was really bad. But back to the happy things. I am entering my nesting era. We just redid our little half bath downstairs here, which was quite the home project. I documented it in short form content on Shorts, TikTok, and Instagram if you want to go look at that. Super happy with how it came out, but it ended up being a lot bigger of a project than we thought it would be. But I'm having so much fun getting the house ready for the baby. The next big project is going to be putting the nursery together, so get excited for that video. If there's anything else you want to know about my pregnancy journey, comment it down below. Any questions you have or video suggestions. Thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you made it this far, you're a saint. I love you so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.